extra, extra. Read all about it. Empire Radio's 200th episode and Star Wars Celebration news and announcements.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another trailer-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back. And you would think after 200 episodes, Drew would be right on point saying his name, but he's reading a chat because it's starting to pop off. We had like nobody. And now we have The View Twist. We got Dazdor, and Death by Pie is, what's her name? She used to be very active in the Discord. I don't know. Brittany. That's it.
Oh.
She said, good to see you guys in the chat.
Yeah, I was like, all caps. I got distracted. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But
200
yes,
episodes that we're still figuring it out, you guys. We're still new, We're
200 episodes. So, yep. So, we're going to do news, and then we're double streaming tonight. And so, we're going to do a second episode tonight doing the Vision Season 2 trailer, which, if you're listening to this, it might already be out. We're going to try and get them out as fast as possible. But it's been Star Wars Celebration all weekend, and all kinds of news, all kinds of exciting things. And so we're just going to go over that tonight. And we're going to go kind of quick because there's only really a few big things and then a bunch of smaller things, so it kind of go pretty quick. And unless you are lucky enough to go and sit in the panels, like everything else,
we just have highlights
and like what people on YouTube are saying they heard, and so it's like there's not a lot of information. So
yeah, and like we said, we're double dipping tonight. So if this episode's a little shorter, it's not because we're skipping out on celebrating 200 episodes with you guys,
right? And
I expect a full episode of 200 voicemails coming our way.
I don't have the computer strength to do such things.
My computer will glitch. But send in your 200 episode voicemails, and we'll play them on a different one.
Yep, we'll do a Mando breakdown this week when we do next voicemails next. But you're here for news, and so the main news that we got this celebration was the announcement of 3 Star Wars movies, and I was expecting just one movie announcement. I didn't think we were gonna get 3, and so
that is true. We were like thinking like maybe we're gonna get a Rey movie or something.
Well, there was the rumor like months ago that Rey was returning, but we didn't know what that was. And just a couple months ago, or maybe just like a month ago, not even, they officially said that the Squadrons movie was canceled, and the Kevin Feige movie was canceled, and that the Taika I can never remember.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi.
I think.
I can't ever remember. Sorry.
Now you're making me second guess. It's Taika Waititi. It's Taika.
But his was like, it's still up in the air. It's not been canceled, but it's not really in production or something like that. So it's like, okay, movies, maybe we'll get one announcement for 2025 or something. But they have 3 movies announced, and the 3 have nothing to do with Waititi. So it's like,
I think his movie is canned.
Maybe. And
maybe it's because of that comment where he was trying to get what's her name to be in Star Wars and not realizing that she was already in Star Wars.
Natalie Portman. There's that, yeah. But yes, so let's just go over these brief ideas of what these movies are. So I think the big one that is kind of the most relevant would be Dave Filoni, the GOAT, is directing a movie that is going to conclude the Mandoverse.
Yep.
And so now what's interesting is the description on the Star Wars website for this, because it says Dave Filoni will focus on the New Republic and close out the interconnected stories told in The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and other Disney Plus series. So, what are these other series?
Hera, Bo-Katan.
So there's the Bo-Katan series that might, but that wasn't announced. And so unless that's announced in like a end credit scene in the Book of or the Mando season 3 finale, maybe.
Which that's a possibility.
Which is a possibility. So and then I think the Skeleton Crew is supposed to be during the same time, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of information on it, but that show is supposed to come out this year also, officially. So like it's probably going to be this fall after the Ahsoka series. So it's probably going to be like a November thing that'll go through Christmas or something, and that's going to be the Skeleton Crew, which is like basically like a Stranger Things kid adventure. People said it's like they remind me of Stranger Things. I think it's more of it's just starring kids rather than about the Upside Down and stuff. But
I was thinking more like I was hoping more like the scary part of Stranger Things. That would be cool.
Could be, but we don't know. And so
they need to make a zombie like non-canon movie with the zombie series that they did. That'd be so cool.
But
I watch that?
I would watch it, but I don't need it. But anyway, other Disney Plus series. So it's like now I'm like trying to overanalyze the grammar because it could be read as multiple series or a single series, just the way it's worded. I'm like, what is it? I think it more than one, but the question is, when would this movie come out?
I don't think it's going to be for a while because there are already rumors that there's going to be a season 2 of Ahsoka. Right. So if they're going to do season 2 of Ahsoka, we still need season 4 of Mando. And now potentially 2 more shows. I think we'll get maybe the first trailer or a teaser trailer of it at the next celebration.
2025. I could see that. It could be like the last show for the Mandoverse would end like this time 2025, and then that Christmas in 2025 could be that. If it was but that would end up being the first Star Wars movie that we get, which I don't know if it would be though.
I don't.
Because like
I think we're gonna get the Rey movie first.
The Rey movie. Well, since you
because they even brought her on stage and everything, you know what I mean? Like,
well, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like that might be a more possibility than.
But so yes, you mentioned the Rey movie, so that's the second movie starring Daisy Ridley as Rey, reprising her role, and it takes place 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9. And so I'm not the most excited for this one. Like, I mean, there's a lot of other stories that I would want than this. And
do you think you'd be more excited though if we didn't get announcements for 2 other movies?
I wouldn't. That doesn't matter.
Or would you still feel the same?
I'd feel the same way, just because it has nothing. Like, obviously, it has nothing to do with Daisy Ridley. Like, I don't have anything against her. It's just like, part of me is like 15 years later. That's it. Like,
it's not that long.
That's not that long, and you're not gonna have like, because it's supposed to be of her like rebuilding a new Jedi Order,
which means her and Finn.
Well, Finn wasn't mentioned though.
Well,
so like,
he's not mentioned yet. They don't want to give up all.
But like,
baby. Or maybe they haven't convinced him yet.
Well, there's that. But it's like, you're not gonna have like, what would the story be? Like, is it going to be a single movie? Is it going to be like a trilogy?
I don't
Because it's
think they
like,
do a single movie
I just want an established Jedi
universe.
Order that's doing things. Like, it should be like 100 years in the future or 50 years in the future when
Or
Rey is like an
30.
old lady, where you have an established Jedi Order that is now facing a new threat. Because like I want to see them like Jedi kind of in a sense in a prime, like where they're all like good at what they do now. Now we're gonna get that in the Acolyte series, which we'll talk about later. But like, I just want to see more like a strong Jedi Order, and you can't do that in 50 years. It's gonna be a bunch of Padawans, and I'm like,
And I'm also curious on who's directing this film.
it would be. Did we get that?
I don't think we did.
No, we got the.
We did.
We got all the directors. Let's see.
As long as it doesn't start with the R, I'm okay.
So it's James. Reading the article. It's Sharim Obaid Chinoy, which.
What have they done?
She directed Miss Marvel and Saving Face. I don't know what that movie is, but she is an Academy and Emmy award-winning director. So,
for Miss Marvel.
Well, that's a show.
Oh.
It's just, that's not for those things. It's just what people would recognize her for. So, like,
wasn't Miss Marvel all right?
It was all right. I didn't hate it. It was more aimed
better
at
than She-Hulk or
She-Hulk was one of the worst. That's one of the worst things in all of the MCU. But she's seems like she's established. I'm trying to look at what she won an Academy Award for. Well, she won an Academy Award for a documentary short film, which that's not really. It looks like that Saving Face is that.
Oh, I love documentaries.
Okay, well, it's kind of a dark topic for a film documentary, which I probably shouldn't mention here. But like, it's still interesting that it's still an award-winning. Like, I'm excited for it for that. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's not just some random person. But so yeah, Rey movie. Like, I'm gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna get hyped for it once we start seeing trailers and all that jazz. But I understand the reason why they're doing this is because there are children, who their childhood trilogy of Star Wars story is the sequel trilogy. Yep. And so they're going to want this. And so it makes sense. Like, they have to market to the current generation and not just to us old folk with gray hair. Like, well, I have gray hair. You have no hair right now. But it is what it is. I hope that they learn from their mistakes when it comes to continuing this story. And I hope it's not episode 10. That would make me mad. Like, I don't want that. Just do its own thing.
I want it to be not 10, but I have a feeling it's going to be 10.
No, because I think they've established that the 9 movies is the Skywalker saga.
Oh, that's true. I guess this is like, but she's a Skywalker.
She is a Skywalker, but it's the Anakin Skywalker saga, I think, is what it's supposed to be. And so I think, and I hope that it is less connected to the previous stuff and it's more fresh, where it's not reliant on things that happened in the past. It's just kind of a fresh start moving forward. Now, the
View Twist has a good point. I think it's also to to keep Galaxy's Edge relevant.
That is true, because they spend a lot of money building that thing, and they can't just change an era. They have to like
keep
make
adapting.
Keep
I would not be surprised if she ends up on that planet that Galaxy's Edge is based off of.
Right. So,
but I also think they should have switched it to the Mandoverse and get rid of everything. That's just me.
But the Mandoverse stuff is like the Dave Filoni movie. It's like, what is that? It's the conclusion to the Mandoverse. And I was thinking about this weekend, because when we get to episode 7, The Force Awakens, the galaxy is unaware of the presence of the First Order. Like, they're only rumors.
Yep.
And, you get some little bit of story from the animated show Resistance, which takes place a month before episode 7. Like, that's when it starts and then overlaps with the first 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, they're just a rumor. People don't know about it. And so this climactic story with Dave Filoni's movie, it's not going to be against the First Order. It's not going to be like, it's going to be Thrawn, we're assuming.
I think it's going to be the end of Thrawn.
But what's the story? Because we keep thinking, it's weird because the Thrawn and Gideon, they're trying to reestablish the Empire. And so how is that remnant related to the First Order, if at all? Is the First Order, I'm sure there's the books about it explaining more about this with like Kylo Ren. There's like, he has his own comics and stuff, I think. So
yeah.
There's probably a lot of story with that, but like, what is the story? Because it can't be them discovering the First Order building out there, because no one knows about it.
Unless they lead up to the exact time.
No, it wouldn't lead up like that. That'd be a long. That's 30 another years, 25 right? Years.
Yeah,
because it's 30 years.
I think like the end of like the Dave Filoni movie is gonna be like the final epic thing that they're gonna deal with Thrawn, and like all the Mandalorians are gonna have to help defeat Thrawn and all the remnants of him. And it's gonna be sad because I have a feeling we're gonna like that more than anything else they're gonna ever put out, and they're just gonna kill it like that instead of give us like 3 movies on that.
Right.
But then we don't know. I guess they say like this is the last one, like this is gonna wrap it up. But they said he's gonna direct a movie, but we don't know. He could be They could just be like, all right, let's make 3 movies out of this. Like, I guess we don't know.
Right, because these are the only officially announced movies, and so I'm sure there's still, obviously there's all these shows that they're working with, and then the movie. So they're still working on writing all the shows in the story so that it all lines up and makes sense. And so who knows when we're getting? I don't think it's going to be the first movie though. Like we were just thinking, I think it's probably,
I don't. I think the Rey movie's going to be.
It's probably going to be 2026 if I had to guess.
For the Dave
Filoni. I feel like 2025, the easiest one to do would be the Rey movie. Unless they want her to age a little bit more, so she's closer to that 15-year thing. Because,
well, it'll be 10 years since the first one came out, right?
2025 would be 10 years.
Yeah.
So they would want her to be older. But then there's also a year
pretty quickly in 10 years though. Like,
is it a year and a half between episode 8 and 9? I think so. Technically, you want to go like Daisy Ridley would either age like 17.
You can make up it
years from the first movie, but
makeup. Yep.
I don't know. Who knows?
Jeremiah doesn't like makeup. He just wants people to look the age of the part.
Yes, that is true. But those are the first 2 movies. But then the third movie that was announced was a Dawn of the Jedi story, which is the start of the Jedi, which supposedly placed 25,000 years BBY.
Oh, no.
So this is before the Old Republic. And so
You mean the High Republic?
No, the Old Republic.
Oh. Was that even canon though?
There's nothing canon for the Old Republic.
That's what I mean.
But it's the Old Republic is only supposed to be like a few thousand years, I think, in the past. So because they released a timeline image, and so
was Old Republic on that?
Yes,
timeline?
and then
and
this movie was placed before that. So, and I think that they said 25,000 years, but we didn't go to Star Celebration, so I don't know what they actually said. So,
yeah. And chat, help us out. Why did I think that they released more panel conversations last Star Wars Celebration compared to this one? I also feel like the hype around this Star Wars Celebration was like, it was big, but then once it started happening, I felt like the hype wasn't as big as last year's celebration. Could just be me. But I would hear every highlight, but then like that was about it. Like I didn't really get I feel like last year I was watching all the panels. Like I would listen to them live stream and stuff.
I think they're just released later.
Maybe that's what
I don't think it was available right away. But anyway, the gentleman that is directing this movie is named James Mangold, and he's the one who wrote and directed Logan.
Yes, someone said that in the chat.
Which is an amazing movie. So yes. I'm super hyped about that.
And if it's anything like Logan, let's go.
I don't know about that. Like, I feel like that would be a good trilogy.
Yeah.
Because you could do people learning about the Force and kind of learning how it works, and then you could have them divide between the light side and the dark side, and then having a conflict there. Like, that's something that I think could be a very interesting story. But I don't know, are they going to be doing trilogies, or are they just going to do just mainly standalone films? And so it's
hard to say, right? Because I would have thought that they were going to make a bunch of standalone films, kind of like Marvel, that would have been in the same universe and then have one together. But I guess they're kind of doing that with the shows and then ending with a movie. So I don't know. I feel like this could be a trilogy thing because they can literally do whatever they want. Like nothing about this is they don't have to abide by any rules except lightsabers and Force. Like that's literally it. And even like the Force, they can change so much of what the Force is doing.
Right.
Because we don't know how good they were back then, you know?
Right. And so then with that freedom, it's because they're so far back, like they don't have to worry about continuity issues.
Yeah, no.
And so that's
do whatever they want, which why I think they might do a trilogy on this more than even Rey, but I feel like they're gonna do Rey just because it's Rey.
Right.
Which is annoying, but
and it's one of those things where I don't know if they would make this movie without like leaving it open-ended for a sequel. Like,
yeah,
I don't feel like they would make a standalone film to take place way back then and just have it standalone and not want to add more to that. So it's like I feel that has to be a trilogy.
Are you surprised, like I am, that they're not doing a High Republic movie?
I was surprised by that because I thought that's kind of what the future was going to be with all the High Republic novels and comics.
Yeah, like we're getting so much content of that.
Acolyte series is during the High Republic.
That's true.
And so maybe that's just what they want to do. They want to maybe build off the Acolyte series for that time, which...
But also with the Acolyte series, they want more people to stay on their app. Their app is direct money other than like theater, movies, isn't direct money, you know. So it makes sense why they would do something like that on as a show.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like they're making as much money as you think they are with Disney Plus, but like I don't know, because I feel like you have three groups of people that have Disney Plus. You have families with little kids, so they can watch Disney movies. You have and then Star Wars fans, and then Marvel fans. Like those are the three people. Like if you're not in those three categories, like you're not watching it because there's not a variety of things.
Yellowstone in the chat said, I heard that Disney Plus is losing money. And
Which
then
is probably true.
And then Will said, yup, Yellowstone. But like, yes, they're probably losing money, but they're probably making more money than Netflix right now.
No, I don't know about that.
I don't know what. I mean, last year was the first year that Netflix was losing money.
I don't know. I don't know all those things, but I feel like they have to start putting out more movies than they are, just so they can start making a lot of money. Because it's like you spend $200 million to make a movie, and then it's a Star Wars movie, so you're definitely going to get over $1 billion profit.
Yep.
So it's like,
and it's been long enough where we're itching for a Star Wars movie now. We're itching to go to the theater. Unlike Marvel's still having all these shows, and they still have a movie that comes out 2 movies a year. So it's like,
well, they've purposely said that they're slowing down, and so we're not going to get as much Marvel stuff as we did in the past
with the shows
and movies. So
can they move Star Wars to Fridays again?
Oh,
and not these Wednesday releases?
I don't know about that, but yeah. So those are the 3 movies. So if I'm guessing, it's going to be the Rey movie, then Dave Filoni's movie, then the Dawn of the Jedi movie. But who knows? I don't know. I know that the order that you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And do you think it's going to be 3 years in a row?
No.
Do you think it's going to be 2025, 2026, 2027?
No, I don't think so. They're going to space out. And who knows? Some of these movies might get canned. I mean, we had 3 movies that already have been canned. You know what I mean? Like,
but only one was officially announced.
Really? So, I thought they were all officially announced.
No, the Squadrons was officially announced because they had that video of her like walking on a tarmac and then getting into an X-wing.
Remember and that? Then yeah, but no, the Taika Waititi one was officially announced for sure.
I think it was just that he was on board. That like they said he was going to do one, but it was never like.
I thought it was announced at Celebration.
I don't know about that. I don't
before
think
COVID.
Before COVID, I don't know if it was that long ago.
Dude, it's been a while that he's supposed to be like. I remember because someone announced it right after he did episode 8 of Mando season 1.
You're talking about Rian Johnson?
No, Taika Waititi did episode 8.
No,
of Mando.
Oh yeah, that.
And then right after that came out, they announced that he was doing a movie.
I don't remember that.
Because I was super pumped because I loved that episode. And that was before he became... The issue is Taika like, blew up and has like a direct deal with FX where he can make any show. I think he has like don't quote me, but I think it's like a 10 or 15 year deal with FX, and he has to put out a bunch of content. That's why he's doing like Desperation Dogs or Reservation Dogs and like 3 other shows at the same time, and they're all his projects.
I don't know.
Which is also owned by Disney, so.
Right. I don't know. I usually don't pay attention to all that stuff, but yeah. I think it was just that he was just kind of like hired to do a movie, then he could write a movie. But I don't think it was
we didn't know what it was.
But I don't think it was ever it was never like this is.
Well, yeah, that's true. It wasn't
There
like
was no story
direct...
that was established or in pre-production or anything
I
like that.
still wouldn't be surprised though if one of these do get canned.
I don't think they will. I think announcing these at Star Wars Celebration, the fact is, okay, Dave Filoni.
I know that one's not getting canned.
That one's not getting canned.
No.
And they brought Daisy Ridley on scale. It's probably already being written.
Probably already written. Hopefully.
So then, then
writing it.
Dawn of the Jedi, like, there's no reason to cancel that. It's like a fresh start. Like,
that's true.
I think we're gonna get him 3 years in a row: 2025, 2026, 2027. Right. Because why would they wait? Like every 2 years, 15, 17, and 19, like or sorry, 25, 27, 29. Like, I don't think they're gonna do that to us.
Well, what is cool about this is that they all are different stories, so they don't have to wait on each other to come out.
Right.
Like, it's not like they announced a trilogy, because then you know it's gonna probably take like
it'll be 5 years from start to finish.
Yeah, it's not like that. So that is true. At least they can all start working on their own project at the same time. And like you said, I feel like the movies would make them a lot of money, and it would push them if they all end. Like if they're all standalone films, besides the Dave Filoni, if the other two are standalone films that push into a show that's on Disney Plus.
Oh, that I never. That'd be cool to have the Dawn of Jedi show. That would be...
Yeah, like if it starts as a movie and then goes into a show.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
That might actually be a thing.
The Rey, I don't know. What do you think they do with the Rey movie? Still have her have a Disney Plus show?
I think she's getting 3 movies.
All right. You heard it here first, folks. Daisy Ridley, 3 movies.
Unless she hates it again. This is so funny because she hated filming Star Wars. And she only took how many years off, and now she's already itching to get back in there.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of this stuff was just hearsay.
That's true.
Like,
and also,
what's his face?
Once you're a Star Wars actor, you're always a Star Wars actor.
Like John Boyega, I think he was the only one that was really actually vocal about.
He was very vocal.
But like Rey, like I don't remember her saying anything. I think it was like.
I remember there was an article posted about it, but yeah, I guess I don't know.
But like a lot of stuff is just kind of like rumors, hearsay. Like it's just people like
could have been something she hated getting makeup on during.
Yeah, and then just take out of context or whatever, and like, Daisy Ridley like months ago, like in an interview, was like someone asked like, would you ever go back to Star Wars? He's like, well, I take a phone call. I need jobs, so like I like. Okay, she's obviously been talking.
John Boyega was invited to Celebration. I heard he didn't want to go.
Right.
And he lives there.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the movies. Done talking about that because we got more to talk about. But before we move on, Star Wars Celebration was very cheerful. So let's take a listen to a cheerful message from our friend Lucy.
Hey everyone, Lucy here, and I'm pleased to tell you that some of my fellow Empire Radio listeners and I made a fantastic original Star Wars audio drama, all through sending voicemails to the pod. It's called the Voicemail Cinematic Universe. Here's the thing, we need your help. The Empire's goal is to get an illustration made by us listeners for every single voicemail, and we have quite a ways to go. So if you have any sort of artistic abilities, join the crew. Any type of media is welcome. Lego scenes, digital art, paintings, you could even make food art. If you answer this call to action, there's a link in the description that leads directly to a Google Doc. It tells you exactly how to submit your art. This whole VCU project will be 100% fan-made, and we can't wait to see everyone's work. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
All right. Well, just couple quick things now for news. Dave Filoni announced Tales of the Jedi Season 2. And that's all the information we have, I believe. So this is a quote that he said is, Tales of the Jedi was so fun the first time, I decided to do some more. So we were
I'm kind of just.
We don't know. No, that's all we know is they're doing another season. So it's probably next year sometime.
Probably. Because this last one came up so quick and then came out so quick.
Yeah, so and they're shorts, so they don't have to do giant sets or anything like that, or sets, but like they don't have to create huge environments and locations for an animation. They can just focus on one location for a short or something. But I'm kind of disappointed that it's not Tales of the Sith. People are wanting that as a thing, but Tales of the Jedi, so it'll be cool. So
well, if he just said that though, we don't know. It could be Tales of the Sith. We don't know. He could have said it was fun making.
But on their website it says Star Wars Tales of the Jedi Season 2 announced. So
okay. Well.
But now the thing is, who would they do? Who's the story? Maybe
Plo Koon, hopefully.
Well, I'm thinking maybe they're gonna do High Republic something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think that'd be cool to go back if this comes out next year. This is gonna be after the Acolyte series comes out, probably maybe. And Acolyte, we're gonna see Jedi of that time, and so it'd be cool to see the Jedi that we see in those shows get some backstory about them. I think that'd be cool, but I don't know.
Yeah. We could sit here all night guessing Jedis that they could do.
Right, let's name off every Jedi we know, and then we'll be right. See, told you so. You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's that announcement. But also, as assumed and as kind of obvious, Bad Batch Season 3 was officially announced, coming in 2024. So next year sometime. Okay, that's it.
Who knows when?
There was supposedly like a teaser trailer that was played there, where it was just some short stuff. So obviously, it's been well in production. Like it's probably almost already done. They're just finalizing
when to put it out too.
That, but also it's like making sure all the animation is up to date. Because like the base thing, I'm sure all the actors and actresses have already voiced all the stuff. They're probably just putting it all together now, and that takes time. And so that's that. Tales of the Jedi. And so that's it. And the other little small news is the Acolyte series is 2024 officially. And that's what we got. And I think there was a whole panel on the Acolyte series, so I haven't had a chance to really look up that, like what was said there by hearsay stuff. But the one thing that I heard from someone on YouTube quick just before we started was in the panel, the director said, or it might have been actually the mini panel that are available, like in the middle of the crowd,
Oh yeah.
Said something like it's gonna be like Frozen mixed with Kill Bill, which is two completely different things. But
so are they gonna sing and then kill each other?
I don't know. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna have like a very focused, like samurai, martial arts focused fighting styles. I heard.
But then a love story or a sibling story.
Or I don't know. I have no idea. But it's during the High Republic. It's the rise of the Sith. So we're going to see Sith. So I'm fairly confident we're going to see Darth Plagueis. I think we're going to get Darth Plagueis. And so I think it says it's supposed to be 100 years before Episode 1. So
that's close.
So like if, how old is Palpatine in Episode 1? Like in his 60 or something? 50? I don't know what the timeline is at, but
technically,
so
either 50s or 40s.
So Plagueis,
he's younger than we think he is.
Is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
Chat. How old is Palpatine in episode?
Question is, how old is Plagueis in the Plagueis book? Well, so that's not canon.
Well, it's not canon, so it's like we have to base off of the canon that we have, which is Palpatine, and so we have to assume that Palpatine was trained from childhood.
He was not. Well,
We don't know that.
Guess we don't know, but he was like 70 something. I don't know for sure.
No. I think he was over 100 years old in the original trilogy. So if he's 70.
What? Really?
Yeah, I think he's like 100 years old. I don't know. Wikipedia it.
Yeah, just Wikipedia.
But
I thought he was younger than that. He did not look 70 in episode 1, I'll tell you that.
Well, that Sith keeps you young. The dark side keeps you young, but
the whole point of that was him trying to figure out how to stay alive forever.
I hate Wikipedia sometimes.
Yeah, in episode 1, he was like 50. So in the original trilogy, it's not that far off. So in the original trilogy, he was in his 70s.
Well, it says on Wikipedia, he was born 82 BBY. So 82 minus 19 minus 13, whatever that is. Get my handy dandy calculator out.
What did 82
you say? Minus 19 minus 13. So I guess, exactly 50.
Yeah.
Exactly 50. So I guess it makes sense. Because he's from Naboo. Like, he wasn't a Jedi. He wasn't raised in the Jedi. He was not a fallen Jedi. Nope. So he had to have been found young.
Well, it's hard to tell because the books, or the Plagueis book, he was not that. I think it was only a Padawan for like 20 years or something before episode 1. So he would have been in his 30s.
You mean an apprentice?
Yeah, apprentice, I mean.
But it's like he had to have been, I don't know. I have no idea.
But I guess that book's not canon, so I don't know. I started that book again. I should actually finish it. That book is so good. Because like Plagueis like sees Anakin fly in with the ship and he can feel Anakin. Like he's alive during that whole time.
Which is weird. Doesn't make sense to me because Maul is supposed to be a Sith. But Maul was Darth Maul when Plagueis was still alive. Like I don't get that.
Well, no, because Plagueis didn't know that Palpatine had Maul.
Right, but the rule of 2. Maul couldn't have been an actual Sith until Plagueis died.
It's not canon, but technically, because the thing is that at a certain point he kills Plagueis, and then Maul becomes a Sith.
I am familiar with the tragedy of Darth Plagueis twice. But it's just lame because Maul is Darth Maul in episode 1 before he goes to Tatooine. But Plagueis is supposed to be alive at the same time. Like, it doesn't. I think it's kind of lame. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, it's not canon, so it's okay.
Yeah. But
that's a good book, though, even though it's not canon.
Right. And what else do we need to go over for news? So yeah, Acolyte. We'll just quick again. So sometime next year. So I'm guessing it's going to be like a January. No, maybe not January, but maybe like a February release. Maybe kind of like Mando. Like for season 3 of Mando, it was end of February. I'm guessing that would be an accurate assumption because if we get Ahsoka starting in August, and that's 8 episodes, so that will bring us into October, and then they could take a month break and start the crew one. What is it called again? I don't even remember. What's the other show we talked about? That's coming out this year. I'm drawing a blank.
I don't know either. Acolyte?
No. The crew one. What is it called? With the kids. We just talked about it.
I don't know. I forget.
Whatever. But that one's supposed to
Things Star Wars.
Stranger Things Star Wars. That's supposed to come out this year too. So that would have to be in like November, and just do November, December time. So
supposed to be. They might push back.
Skeleton Crew. Thank you, Yellow Snow. So
yeah, I was too busy reading what he was saying about Maul.
So I don't know. I wish they would just say like
dates.
Not dates, but just like seasons, like spring or winter or summer. Like just say that, just so we know.
The thing is, like, the Ahsoka show is coming out in August, and we don't even have a date for that.
Right.
And that's in like not even that far away from now.
4 months.
4 months. So I don't know. They just say years, and then it could be like the last day of that year, and it can go into the next year. Like,
right. And also in August is EmpireCon. Come to EmpireCon here in Minnesota. We're hosting our own fan meet and greet, 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, August 18th through 20th. Sign up in the Discord, join the Discord, meet some new friends. Let's go hang out in August.
It's gonna be fun.
So maybe we could watch an episode together. I don't know.
Hopefully, be able to watch Ahsoka if it's out already. Speaking of Ahsoka, they had a different trailer.
They did have a different trailer with some extra scenes. So we actually saw. So it was also this weekend. It was officially announced that Lars Mendelsohn, not Mickelson. I always use them interchangeably. Mendelsohn is Thrawn. So he's the voice from Rebels of Thrawn. So
were you super pumped when you heard that?
Well, I was expected. Like, there was a rumor. I don't know why they were hiding it, but they were just hiding it so they could do the reveal on stage.
The image is like,
okay, people need to stop complaining. It's literally at an angle with in the dark.
Really bad photo.
I think
it'll look better. Probably.
The one thing is like seeing him walk on stage. Like, he's a very tall and very skinny, gangly guy.
Yeah,
he's a goat. He's the best.
And his voice will be the same, so that's
his
all.
Voice will be exactly the same, but it's one of those things where I don't see Thrawn as this Sheldon Cooper looking guy. But I wonder how they're going to. I'm sure he's going to maybe have some sort of bodysuit on that just kind of fills in a little more.
I don't think so, because I think Thrawn was always a tall, skinnier guy.
Well, he was tall, but looking at Rebels, he wasn't like gangly. He wasn't just this little skeleton.
No, but I feel like in the books they talked about him and they described him as a really skinny, frail looking. It's in the books that you have not read yet. Sorry.
Okay.
But if I remember correctly.
But we already have a visualization of him as drawn in Rebels.
Yeah, so but that's art. Different art style. They can do whatever they want. Like, we can't base off of Rebels. First of all, the art style in Rebels is so unique and different. So we base off that. Maul looks freaking weird as heck in Rebels.
He looks fine.
He looks scrawny.
Well, because he was stuck on that planet Malachor for who knows how long.
No, we can't base humans off of a cartoon shape.
I don't know. They nailed Sabine pretty accurately.
True.
So
Sabine does look really good.
Yes.
So yeah, we have an announcement like Thrawn. We know who Thrawn's gonna be. We know what he's gonna look like, ish. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so,
did you know that Hera, the actor of Hera, is married to Ewan McGregor?
That's what I heard.
That's pretty cool.
Did not know.
I didn't know that either until Andrew told me.
That family.
They're goats. I can't imagine if they have do they have a kid?
I don't know if they have a kid, but
they should get
Wedge Antilles.
True. I forgot about
Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you have Hera, all in one family. If they do have a kid, hopefully that kid plays Spectre 7. Jason Sindula. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But Anyway, before we jump into the rest of the couple more news things, let's just take a coffee break.
Yeah.
If you need some coffee and or tea, take a listen to this commercial from Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. And while I was looking at the articles that I have up for news stuff, I got Lars's last name wrong.
Oh.
It's Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen. I get him wrong every time. It's Lars Mikkelsen, not Mendelsohn. Sorry, Lars, if you're listening. All right, but
and if you are, we'll have you on the interview. You
want to do an interview, dude. Slide into our DMs, bro. Like, we'll have you on, no problem.
Yep.
But
we won't even ask you Thrawn questions.
That's not true. Every question's a Thrawn question. But anyway, the last little bit of news that we have, High Republic book stuff. So Phase 3 starts this year, and the first adult novel comes out in November. So that's actually the continuation of the stories in Phase 1 from the adult novels. So we got on that big cliffhanger of the Starlight Beacon crashing into the planet and Martian Row out there still alive and kicking.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, we're going to do Phase 2 and we're going to go 150 years in the past. But they're picking it up this fall in Phase 3. So
is Phase 2 closer to Skeleton Crew? Or
no, that's in the past. That's 150 years before Phase 1.
Okay. So
Phase 3 books are going to be moving closer to Acolyte.
So we should just skip Phase 2 and go straight into Phase 3. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say anything. I'm just saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So I'm guessing.
Why are we reading the other books?
I'm guessing there's going to be characters in Phase 3 that could show up in Acolyte. But Acolyte takes place 50 years after the events of Phase 1. So I don't know how far into the future Phase 3 is. Might be, I think it's just a couple of years or something. But there's some characters that are going to be old that are going to be alive and kicking, I'm thinking, during that. So,
and when's Acolyte coming out?
Acolyte?
Or not Acolyte. The Skeleton Crew or whatever.
Sometime this year. We were just saying it was probably in the fall.
Jeez.
So, like late fall, like November is my guess.
Probably.
But yeah,
still no trailer.
Still no trailer. There was a trailer.
A celebration
at the panel.
Oh, of course.
So, and you actually have kid actors, which is I'm a fan of. Like, I don't like when adults are cast as
little kids.
Now, obviously, they're doing like middle school age. We don't know who they are. We have nothing. I don't think they're Padawan. I think there's regular kids, but obviously, you can't cast an adult as a 14-year-old, really. So, yeah. So I'm just reading here. So the first book, adult novel for Phase 3, is George Mann. He's writing that. And the title is The Eye of Darkness. The story will bring us to the Nihil, and the tale is set about a year after the fall of Starlight Beacon. So, yeah.
Sweet. I'm excited for that now.
But it looks like they're not going to be as close together as we thought for the 3 books. So it says Temptations of the Force will be summer 2024. And then the final novel, Trials of the Jedi by Charles Soule, or Soule, whatever, spring 2025.
Oh, geez.
So they're going...
They have all the...
They're going like...
The authors already picked out?
Yeah. So Tressa Gratton is the second book, and then Charles Soule, or Soule, is the third book, which he was one of the ones from the first trilogy, too. So they're spreading them out, which is kind of weird. Like, I wonder why, but...
Other stuff going on? Because I think all these people are still also working on the comics.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But, yeah, that is...
Cool.
All of the main news. There's all kinds of little news and little things, and all the stuff at the panels that we had no access to, and then all the interviews on like the mini panels that they did are on YouTube that you can watch. All the interviews of all the people and stuff. So go check those out on the Star Wars YouTube channel. But yeah, this was an exciting Star Wars celebration.
Yeah.
I don't remember as big as this, because the last big one was probably 2019 with the Rise of Skywalker trailer and with a Mando trailer. But this was all... We got movies, we got shows, we got all trailers. We got the Ahsoka trailer, and we got the Visions trailer that we'll be doing a few minutes from now to round that off. So anything else, Drew, about news? Any hopes? What do you think of this year's...
I thought it was all right.
Just all right?
I didn't think it was... I thought last year was way more intense.
What happened last year?
I don't remember, but I remember the hype around it was so much bigger, I felt like. And maybe that's because it was like delayed 3 years or 2 years or whatever.
I don't remember anything from last year.
Well, we got... There was like the teaser of The Mandalorian this season trailer, the fake one. We got the fake Tales one. And then we got the Kenobi. That's what it was. We got the Kenobi trailer last time.
Oh, Kenobi came out during Celebration.
Yes, that's what it was. It came out. So maybe that's why it was hyped, because like it came out the same time. They watched it together. We got it early. I remember we got it came out early. I had to watch part. I remember the hype around it was pretty cool. But yeah, I guess it was so good. It just felt separated because it was overseas, I think, for me.
Last year?
No, this year. Felt separated.
It's all the same.
I don't know. Because I remember watching the panels at work last year and stuff like that. And this year, they were done by lunch here. They was already over and stuff. I don't know. It just felt a little different. And then they did announce before we end Japan 2025.
Yep. And we were saying if it was in the United States that we were going to go, and that's not going to happen now. So
yeah, we literally I talked about it could be Japan. Jeremiah was like, what, has it ever been? I was like, yeah, no. No,
I knew it was in Japan.
It's going back.
When that was the first one after Disney? No, that was 2008 was the last time it was in Japan.
Yeah.
But
a little bit, a while, actually. They're hitting all the international places, I think, before they're going to come back to the States, which is kind of crazy to me.
So that's, I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed.
I was disappointed when I saw it because I'm like, dude, I really wanted to go. I'm going to try. I'm going to still try to go. Me and my wife always
you're
wanted
definitely
to go.
Going to go. I have no doubt that you and Stephanie
I'll tell you what. If I don't get a press pass, I'm not gonna go.
Okay.
Because it's like.
So if you guys want Drew to go to Star Wars Celebration 2025, you gotta make us share with your friends, make us bigger, so they can see our influence onto interwebs and be like, oh, we should probably give them a pass. But I feel like because you and Stephanie want to go to Japan anyway, and
I do want to go to Japan.
Would that be your 10-year anniversary?
Would be our 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary. You want to go anyway. Star Wars Celebration.
I just thought about that. We were gonna. Okay, so the weird thing is, we were supposed to go to Japan on our 5-year anniversary and renew our vows. We literally had a plan. We had a photographer picked out, everything, and then COVID hit, and then we couldn't go. And then we had a baby, and then we were like, all right, we're not gonna go. And then we were gonna go to Korea this summer, and then we're like, we're not gonna go because her cousin's getting married in Hawaii in January, and we're like, we can't afford 2 giant trips. So the thing is, we're going to Hawaii next year, and it's gonna be expensive. And then we got to figure out how to go to Japan that next year. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you got 2 years to figure it out, so.
True. And you guys got 2 years to give me a press pass.
And I was like, okay, if it's in the United States, we'll have our second Empire Con. We'll just do it at Celebration. Make it way easier to plan. Because I was thinking it was going to be in Tampa, because it hasn't been in Tampa for a while.
And you were just saying how you didn't want to go to Florida.
I'm saying that's where I thought it was going to be. But that's not.
I was praying and hoping for Chicago.
Oh, that would have been so good. We got to get a Minneapolis one, because we can host a Super Bowl now. We can host Star Wars Celebration. But anyway, we're babbling on. So
yeah,
hopefully 2026 be back in the United States. If they're doing movies back-to-back years, then they're going to definitely do
back-to-back
celebrations. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's the thing is next Celebration, I think, is when we're going to get either the first trailer drop or that's going to be the same time the first movie comes out.
Yeah.
One of those two. So.
Definitely. All right.
We'll see.
Let's wrap this up. So you've been listening to another. Oh, we should probably do socials first. Click the link in the description below. The links.co/Empire Radio. Links with 2 eyes. Landing page for everything. Facebook, Instagram, the Discord link, the VCU Illustration Project, our fan email, YouTube, Twitch, needlesslynerdy.com, which is an entertainment network that we're part of. So check out Empire Radio if you're new to the podcast. Follow us, do everything. We love to interact with you. Send in a voicemail. We have that link there too. So, all right. That being said, you've been listening to another trailer-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.